You are about to watch something that stopped the internet cold. Not a theory, not a rumor. A live discovery broadcast to thousands in the Arizona desert. A Jay Wispel walked alone into a dry Tucson wash on the morning of May 7th. No crew, no producer, just a camera, brutal desert heat, and a case that had gone quiet for 3 months. The wash sits where Tucson's infrastructure ends and the raw desert begins. Arroyos cut deep into the earth here. The soil stays dry and undisturbed for years. Nobody comes out here without a reason. A Jay had a reason. Nancy Guthrie had been missing for 90 days. He moved carefully through the brush, scanning the ground. Then he stopped. Something was sticking out of the dirt. It was pale, partially exposed, sun-bleached against the dark desert floor. He did not touch it. He did not move closer than he had to. He just kept the camera steady and let the world see exactly what he was seeing. Thousands of people watched this happen in real time. No editing, no post-production, no filter between the discovery and the audience. By the time you finish this video, you will know exactly what that object was and what a former FBI agent said about it that silenced every platform at once. Stay with us. What comes next in this case is something you need to hear directly. That object in the dirt sat exactly 7 miles from Nancy Guthrie's front door. Share this video right now before you keep watching. One share keeps her name alive. Within the hour, police tape surrounded the wash, but for the next 24 hours, not one official source said a single word. The footage was real, the bone was real, and the silence from every official source lasted exactly 24 hours. Then one person spoke, and she only needed 2 sentences. The evidence. What the desert held. You need to understand what this terrain actually is. Tucson does not end gradually. It stops. The Catalina Foothills sit at the northern edge of the city, where multi-million-dollar homes back directly into undeveloped desert. The land beyond those homes belongs to no one and everyone. Massive dry riverbeds carve through the scrubland. The soil shifts and buries whatever the desert decides to keep. This is the landscape Nancy Guthrie vanished into on February 1st. A Jay did not stumble into that wash by accident. He spent hours studying topographic maps and desert terrain before he ever laced up his boots. He chose the River Road and Craycroft Road corridor deliberately. He understood that a 7-mile radius from a missing person's last known location represents a forensically significant search zone. Official investigators had been working this case for 90 days. A Jay chose a stretch of desert wash they had not publicly cleared. When he found the object, his behavior was exact. He planted his feet. He kept the camera rolling. He did not touch the find with his hands. He called law enforcement immediately and stayed on the line. Within the hour, uniformed officers arrived at the coordinates. The wash filled with crime scene tape. Vehicles surrounded the perimeter. Back online, the response hit every platform simultaneously. Reddit threads that had been dormant for weeks exploded with new posts. TikTok creators interrupted their scheduled content to share the raw footage. On X, one question dominated every thread. Every comment section asked the same thing. Is this her? The community had waited 90 days for a physical lead. Now they had footage of police securing a site 7 miles from Nancy's home. The silence from authorities made it worse. No denial came. No statement followed the police arrival. For 24 hours, the official answer was nothing. In a case this large, that silence does not calm people down. It does the opposite. The community needed one voice, not the loudest one, the most qualified one. And that voice had been watching this case since the very first day. The key question. 2 sentences volume is not truth. You already knew that. 3 months of following this case taught you the difference between a bold claim and a sourced one. Accounts with no credentials were posting certainties they could not prove. Creators who never mentioned Nancy Guthrie before May 7th were suddenly offering forensic analysis. The noise was everywhere. The community needed something different. They needed Jennifer Coffindaffer. She is not a commentator. She is a verified former FBI special agent. She worked inside the same institution currently running this investigation. She understands evidence processing from the inside. She knows the legal threshold an agency must clear before releasing information to the public. Here is what made her different from every other voice in this space. Since February 1st, she applied 5 specific standards to everything she posted publicly about this case. 1. She only posted when she had verified sourcing. 2. She never filled silence with guesses. 3. She explained the forensic mechanics, not just the headlines. 4. She corrected misinformation without amplifying it. 5. She treated this as a case, not as content. That reputation took 90 days to build. It made what she posted on May 7th land like nothing else could. She posted 2 sentences. No thread, no follow-up, no invitation for debate. A human bone was located near the Guthrie home, approximately 7 miles away. That was the first sentence. Confirmed. Sourced. Real. Then came the second sentence. It was determined to be unrelated. 9 words. Past tense. The word determined carries everything. Not believed, not suspected, determined. That word means a process ran. 2 institutions examined the evidence, and the door closed. The community absorbed that in total silence. The footage had been real. The police response had been real. The bone had been human. And it had nothing to do with Nancy Guthrie. Drop in the comments right now. Did you believe this was the break we had been waiting for? Tell us where you were when you saw the update. Coffindaffer closed the door in 9 words, but 2 independent institutions still had to explain what was actually in that desert wash. Their answer raised something nobody had considered. The truth. What the bone actually was. Tucson police spokesperson James Horton went on record. He left no room for interpretation. He stated that the discovery site carried no connection to any active criminal investigation. He confirmed the find was prehistoric and anthropological in nature. This was not a hedge statement. This was a closed determination, delivered on the record. 2 institutions ran the analysis. The University of Arizona and the Pima County Medical Examiner both examined the evidence independently. Both reached the same conclusion. The bone belonged to an ancient anthropological site embedded in the Tucson Basin. We are talking centuries, possibly thousands of years, predating any active case timeline by generations. That wash where AJ planted his feet was not a crime scene. It was a protected historical site, carrying the physical record of human presence in this region long before Tucson existed as a city. Now consider what AJ actually did. Official investigators had 90 days and institutional resources. They could not physically clear every arroyo within a 7-mile radius. The terrain is too vast. The resources do not scale to that coverage. A J extended the search grid, not as a replacement for law enforcement, as a second layer of eyes in terrain that formal investigation had not documented publicly. He found something real. He handled it responsibly. The conclusion ruled it out. That is how a search is supposed to work. The case remains active. The reward stands at $1.2 million combined. If you know something, law enforcement needs to hear it today. Call 1-800-CALL, FBI, or contact 88-CRIME. Call that line right now if anything in this case connects to something you know. $1.2 million is waiting for the detail that breaks this open. Do citizen investigators like AJ help or hurt active missing person cases? Drop your answer below. This community has a real opinion, and we want to hear it. The bone was prehistoric. The site was ancient. The case is not. Nancy Guthrie has been missing for over 90 days. What happens next depends entirely on who is still watching. The unresolved close. Still here. They found something 7 miles away. Then came the silence. You now know what the silence confirmed. Not her. Not resolved. Not over. Think about what this community has carried for 90 days. No arrest, no named suspect, no body recovered, no resolution delivered to the Guthrie family. Every lead has either stalled or closed without an answer. This one closed too. A human bone. 2 forensic institutions. 9 words from a former FBI agent. And we are exactly where we were on February 1st. Her name is Nancy Guthrie. She lived in the Catalina Foothills in Tucson, Arizona. She walked out of her life and did not come back. That fact has not changed. You were present for this discovery. You watched it happen before any institution confirmed or denied it. That makes you a witness to this investigation, not just a viewer of it. Share this video with one person who does not know her name yet. That is the only ask. Her name is Nancy Guthrie, and the file is still open. The search does not stop because the video does. If you have followed this case since February, drop the word "still here" in the comments right now. Tell us where you are watching from. This community is worldwide, and it is not finished.